Well, Happy New Year, everyone. It is December 31st of 2021. We're wrapping up 21 now and almost ready to kick off 2022. So I'm going to tell you a little story. And remember, please subscribe and like, share, comment, etc., etc. But I'll kick it out of the way first. I'm not a CPA, financial advisor, an attorney, doctor, nothing like that. I'm just mazske sharing my stories. So here we go. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. That line opens up a book by Charles Dickens, I believe, A Tale of Two Cities. Anyway, great book. If you don't like to read, get the audio copy. It's been a year since I've read it, though. Years since I read that book. But anyway, when I look back on 2021, it was a year for myself, personally, and the country. It was a year of highs and lows and transitions and new things and old things and so on and so on. If I look back a year ago, when I was closing out 2020, on December 27th, I think it was, I closed on 5 houses. So right at the end of 2020, I closed on 5 houses. And that culminated in 2020 having me purchase 14 rental houses. Okay, so I kind of closed out 2020 with a bang. 5 houses, 14 for the year, not too bad. I remember being up with my family a couple weeks prior to Christmas, and I brought up moving to Florida. And somebody asked me, it's like, when do you think you'll move? And I responded kind of like, you never know. It could be happening pretty quick. You just don't know. So as 2021 kicked off, I was looking at houses here in Florida online, and I started contacting a realtor I know. He was giving me his perspective. He looked at different ones. As the first few months went on, we found one house. We were trying to decide what kind of house we wanted. For the money we wanted to spend, do we want to get a very nice house on land? Most houses are on land. A very nice house on land, maybe with a pool or without a pool, but no, not on the water. Or do we want to get a house on the water, knowing for the same money it wouldn't be quite as nice of a house, but we could get it on the water, maybe with a swimming pool. So we had made an offer on one house, and we had the home inspection done. It found a few things. They seemed minor by outward appearances. But when the seller was contacted about these and asked about them, both agents said he was being evasive, like he was trying to hide something, and he was not forthcoming to tell us anything. So we backed out because it's like, there's something underlying there, and we just didn't know what it was. So we backed out. Then the realtor found the house that I am now. Literally, he said he got it from his computer, walked away, came back, refreshed his screen. This house popped up. He called, he drove over within the hour, looked at it, met the seller, met the listing agent, and bing-a-boom, end up putting an offer. It took a while. They set a deadline like 5 p.m. by Friday, all best offers by 5 p.m. Friday, and whatever day this was, like Tuesday. So we put an offer in. Friday comes and goes, and we're like, well, guess we didn't get the house. And then it was like the following week, like Thursday or something, I hear from my real estate agent. He says, hey, they accepted your offer. So they accepted the offer. So we started the mortgage process, and as it was getting closer and it looked like I was moving, it's like, we need to pack up. But the missus wasn't ready to leave yet. Our house wasn't fully renovated yet, the one in Virginia. So we came up with the plan of, I will move down here. I will bring a moving truck down. My buddy drove the truck for me, and I drove my car down. And we would bring the bulk of our items down here. And we did that. And here I am. But as the months went by, it was stressful because I was living here, she was living there 1,000 miles away. Our house was under renovation. I was in contact with the contractors. There was just different issues, and there was issues with Lowe's, materials, supply chain issues. We weren't getting stuff like we're supposed to. So what we thought was maybe June or so putting the house on the market turned into July, turned into August. I think by late July we had it on the market, I think. We closed in September on that house. But even when we closed on that house, it wasn't finished yet. There was a kitchen counter that had not come in yet. And it took another month and a half, 2 months. It was like we closed on like the middle of September, and it was the end of October, I think, when the kitchen counter finally came in. And then when it came in and they hooked it up, they didn't connect the dishwasher to the bottom of the kitchen counter. And I was like, why not? Because I'm down here and I'm being told I'm responsible for that. And I was like, I contracted with Lowe's to install a kitchen counter. They had to remove the old one, which was connected to the dishwasher. And now we got to put a new one on. Of course, you hook the dishwasher back up, just a couple screws. But I end up calling the manager at Lowe's, who says, oh, I looked at the contract that you signed back in like March, because I had signed it way back then, and you didn't specify you wanted the dishwasher hooked back up. And I was like, what? I don't work for Lowe's. Shouldn't the Lowe's employee have said, hey, if you want the dishwasher hooked back up, you got to pay extra? And the manager was like, well, yeah. She told me something like, everybody gets that. I don't know why you didn't. I was like, I would have if someone had told me about it. So anyway, Lowe's waived that charge. So it was like in November, everything finally got, all the dots, I's got dotted, T's got crossed, and we finally were done with that house. So we're down here. The 2021 is wrapping up. I've been kind of in a rut where I haven't gotten a rental property now in over a year, but I have one house under contract. My realtor told me that he got the phone call about an appraisal, so they're trying to line the appraisal up. I have another house that's being looked at today. They tentatively accepted my offer, but my contact and a contractor are going out to the house today to do a double check just to make sure it's nothing hidden there that we don't know about. Just look at it closer. So by the end of today, I should know if I'm getting that house or not. So 2 houses potentially, 1 house for sure, 2nd house potentially are in progress to get. I may close in late January, February on the 1st house. Excuse me. If I get the 2nd house, it'll be kind of like a burst strategy type house. If I get that 2nd house, we'll probably close, I'm guessing, in February, sometime middle of February, maybe. All right, 2021 was also a year. Well, to wrap up 2020, in December of 2020, I made my first small investment in my oil drilling investment. I put what was their minimum investment into it, which was $25,000. Then I got a K1 in about March, I guess it was. That's a tax form. And when my CPA finally got my taxes done and I could look them over, that $25,000 investment, they took approximately 80% of it, and it was $20,501, and subtracted it from my adjusted gross income. I think that's what it was. So it reduces my tax burden. I also had my CPA did a cost segregation on my triplex, and he accelerated depreciation by quite a bit and gave me a big tax deduction, I guess you say, on that. So I ended up basically not owing any taxes and getting just a little bit of money back. But then during the course of 2021, I started investments in mineral rights acreage. I might have started it in 2020, I can't remember now, but the very first one might have been 2020. But I added to it throughout 2021. I also added to my oil drilling adventure throughout 2021. So as we wrap the year up, I just sold my triplex just a couple days ago. The proceeds I got from that, I basically had put into my oil drilling adventure. So I've added substantially to my oil drilling adventure. I've also added quite a bit to my mineral rights adventure. So those two, I've talked more about them in different videos, and I'll talk more about them in future videos. But those 2 investments are progressing well, I say. Rental properties, I am now down to 22 doors because I sold the triplex to the young man I interviewed just the other day. That was Robbie. So I'm down to 22 doors, but I got 1 under contract to buy. That'll put me at 23. If this one today works out, we'll see. That could bump me up to 24. But looking ahead, I see more real estate coming in my future. I don't know exactly how many. Prices are going up all over. It's getting harder to find a great deal. It's not impossible. Great deals are out there. No matter where you live at or where you're looking at, great deals are out there. You just got to look. Okay, so I'm looking. I have different markets I'm looking in. I got different contacts that are assisting me, which is greatly appreciated. But looking ahead, I'm excited about this channel. I think there's more interviews coming. You won't have to be listening to me babble quite as much, just me by myself all the time. There are different folks that throughout the year may make appearances on the channel. There may be some folks that make regular type stops on the channel. Maybe it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, maybe it's just occasionally. Then there'll be new people coming on board interviewing. Some of you out there that comment on my channel that I don't personally know and we don't really communicate. I'd like to interview you sometime. You know, the person who just commented on a video saying I'm kind of living the simple life which you strive for. I'm drinking a cup of green tea in my Coast Guard cup. So I'd like to interview you sometime. And it's not interview, it's I'm gonna chat with you. Sure, I'll ask you some questions. But I'm curious to talk to a lot of people. My wife says I talk to too many people at times, like when I'm walking out and about. But I like to talk to people. And if you're anywhere on the investment journey, I would love to chat with you sometime because we can all learn from each other. It doesn't matter if you just bought your first property. It doesn't matter if you haven't bought your first, but you're hoping to buy your first. It doesn't matter if you're out there thinking, I can never invest. I'd like to chat with you because my thoughts are the majority of society can invest. As long as we're working jobs and we have income coming in, we can invest. So, and like I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. If Robbie can do it, you can do it. If Dominic can do it, high school teacher, you can do it. If Mike can do it, blue collar cop, you can do it. I got another interview coming up tomorrow. If he can do it, you can do it. All right. I talk to a lot of people. A lot of people out there tell me they want to invest, but they don't. A lot of people out there just kind of, they don't have time, they don't have money. That's the standard answer. Don't have time, don't have money. We all have the same amount of time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We all get the same time. 2021 is wrapping up for me. 2021 is wrapping up for you. Depends on where you're at in the world. Maybe it's already done. Maybe it's longer to get to 2022, but it's wrapping up. Okay, so the time keeps ticking. If you don't have enough money, well, there's two things you can do. You can increase your income. You can cut expenses. You can only cut expenses so much because you got to live. You can only cut it so much. So the variable that you can impact the most is making money. So can you, if you're in the situation where you can't cut anymore, figure out how you can increase your income. Okay? It could be by working overtime with whatever job you have, if they offer overtime. It could be by doing a side hustle. It could be driving for DoorDash. It could be delivering Uber Eats, driving for Uber. It could be working in a local retail business. It could be starting a side hustle in your house, whatever you're good at, whatever your specialty is. Think about your job. Like I was a cop. Could I parlay my police skills into, I don't know, working private security for more money, which happened at times. Maybe Walmart or somebody would contract at like Thanksgiving or Christmas, Black Friday, for police officers to work, and they're paying us more than what our overtime pay was. Or if I was a computer programmer, which I'm not, but if I was a computer programmer, could I do jobs for others that could pay me extra money? You know, whatever you do, we all have different skills. So you got to figure it out. Look around YouTube, look, Google, like part-time gigs, side hustles, just Google it and see what you can figure out, okay? So 2021 is winding down. As I always say, stay safe in all you do. Don't get wild out there tonight. If you do get wild, don't drive. Make sure you have a safe way home, okay? So I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'll be back, probably not later, I may be back later today. We'll see, but I'll be back tomorrow. Tentatively, I have another interview lined up tomorrow. It should be a good one. You'll enjoy it. So y'all take care. Keep smiling. Mazske is signing out.